Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdurrahman Raja, and today we will discuss about microcontrollers in embedded systems lab 3. So in lab 3 we have basic tasks of C programming language of area C. So let's get into this. Okay, so in task 1 we have an Atmega 328 PIC which we have connected with two 7-segment displays. Both 7-segment displays are connected at port D, and we used these 7-segment displays just for the reason that we can show output on them. तो हमने बेसिकली जो काम इसमें किया है वो ये है कि पोर्ट डी जो है वो विद अ डिले ऑफ 150 मिली सेकेंड्स अपनी वैल्यू इंक्रीज़ करती रहेगी till it reaches 0x99 means hexal 99 value. तो let's get into the code of this program. कोड में हम लोगों ने एक AVR इनपुट आउटपुट की लाइब्रेरी यूज़ की है, साथ में एक डिले की लाइब्रेरी यूज़ की है, and in main void of this code we have an unassigned character Z, and we have assigned for D as output. In the for loop that we made, we are just simply incrementing the value of Z from 0 to 0x99, and port D पे हम लोग Z की value show कर रहे हैं with a delay of 150 milliseconds. So let's simulate the circuit and let's see what happens. So this is what it's doing, it's just incrementing its values. So now let's jump on to our second task. So in our second task we are taking input, and based upon the input we are giving some output on port D. The port input is taken at port C. So in this, if we have 0 input, it would give 0xAA, and if we have input of 1, it would give 0x55. So let's simulate the circuit and see what happens. Okay, so simulation has started. Now let's change the input from 0 to 1. On changing the input, we see that the bits have changed on output, and that was our main task. So now let's talk about the code of this simulation. So we have defined the crystal frequency with input output libraries and delays library. We have assigned port D as output and port C as input, and on port C we are specifically concerned with C0. So we have assigned PC0 as input. So this is our main while loop. So in our main while loop we are making a condition that if the input is 1, we will display 0x55 on the output, and in else condition we have port D which is showing 0xAA. So any input other than 1 would give us 0xAA as output. So in binary we have only 1 and zeros, so the else condition tackles the 0 condition. So let's get into our next task, which is about buttons and hex keypad. Okay, so in this task we have to basically just take an input from hex keypad and show that we have taken the input, and to show that we have taken the input we are using an LED on port D. So let's take a check of this simulation. I have simulated the circuit and simulation has started. No, it hasn't properly. let me check the error first. Okay, so simulation is running perfectly now. Okay, now let's press the button of this keypad. Now when I have pressed the button, I can see that there's an output corresponding to that button on LED or above at the point next to Atmega 3288 PIC. Now I have released the button. Now let's press another button. So if I press any button, it would glow the LED, and if there is no button pressed, the LED would stay off. Now let's get into the code of this task. So it's a basic code with AVR input output library and delay library, and I have defined the crystal frequency at 10 megahertz. So these are basic input and output commands which I have initialized here. For while loop, main while loop, we have compared if the data is set or not, and based upon that we are giving an output on port C,